I wanted to read you this little poem. The first few minutes are kind of just an introduction, kind of setting the stage. Here it is. Into the river, ghostly, of microdots, into the soft telling of the story, settling into Chupidero, the soft sacrament of questions. Does this road match my load? Betrayed, hidden, and silent. Does the name I have match my form in the rain when my voice changes, exiled in abandonments, where I drink the dark waters from wings of paper, rock, and scissors? To learn how to play dead underwater, in more subtle fractures that tremble the loom, so the action lasts, all the way back to Sausalito again, where I began making up the nights in sudden membranes to go back up the hill with the touch and go of a polypropylene time tower, where that passage declares the number of my hairs I never match. Because in another story, when I was a burning star, with a million broken, dangerous immigrants with no arms or legs, we had to wear fire for a charm to the sky. At night, in our other story, our hands are full of shrunken alphabets, softer than the devil's tongue. Chupidero, the black night thieves of the firebox, on fire breathing bones to space, slowly learning another set of eyes that will never radiate and never return. That's where I learn the difference between my savings and loans. For I am more thirsty than that, for something else. I want to connect a deeper, bluer mass where I don't last. When she comes out over the hill, shamed and loud, over the sky, her inverse equation behind the leaves, soil, Saturn, Mars, and so on. Hers is the other urn that toils. So I fed that fire. Stone-headed up steep steps, the tension grows. There's no boundary for a blind monkey, and a chain, a ball and flame. A good mention in the flash is all I ever have. I knew right at first this would get worse. So I tried to maintain some cash flow while I can. Play it safe. I know it won't last. To the moon and back. Or past the continental crash of fault lines and cashmeres, loops, and laughs seem like small tasks to put on a more sensual grasp. Where the search for fantasy continues, in the movement of cloud hands to meet the bank ledgers in drifting sand, I have to take a different pace than the fantasy of this chase for a more delicate taste at the bottom of a well. Dancing shadows, patterns of light, spider webs of locomotions. Is that a bird in the flickering choreography, a rose in motion that knows better than I? The flying kisses, the gentlest of wishes that beset the world and liquefy the sanctuary of all therein. A 5-year-old girl collecting sticks for firewood to sell at the market. She will be cold tonight, but hopefully not hungry. The most precious being that ever lived, making the kinds of trades most people do to get through the night. In her little handmade boots and parka, and a little rawhide string to bundle the sticks together and carry them on her back. She may be sold herself as a snow angel before she melts, while I watch from my cell phone amid searches for the latest fashion, a new heavenly flavor of ice cream amongst the flashing ticker tape scams that run by the New World Order, a vacation to Switzerland or Thailand. Which one? It's so difficult in the lost rivers, black boxes, burning bushes, wells, bottom of a lens, trying to show me the truth of my 1,000 tentacles I never knew one of, waving in 10,000 weaves I never felt one of. But if I listen more carefully, I know There is another sanctuary that believed in me first, before these new Roadrunner cartoons playing games with two coyotes, God and the devil, Buddha and enlightenment. If I look more closely than all that crap to the eyes of the man on the moon, I understand that he is full of the tears that are the delicate balance of trial and error, that touch on forgiveness over and over again, falling in strings, footprints, first blooms. Something long ago, the empty black boxes of night are still breathing roots, colors, smells, and raindrops, morning dew, and wings that carry children to the... Wait, are those wings little arms and legs? Dancing spiral notions again, climbing the tree, flying in the burning bush into the cocoon, a chrysalis, a coffin, where something else will breathe our breath into a different fire. I could be made of straw, and in my heart a tiger's claw, full of the fear they could not cut out, that grew other forms of force, flex, and flux, to let the real shadows come to me with fetishes of love, death, and buzz. Another breath is breathing the stars, in another song that no one heard, for when a child falls in the forest of grasses, into the ripples, does anybody hear? When the windows all turn frosty cold, does anybody know what the windows didn't show? All night, the frozen child and the breathing of a dead star that no one sees in the shopping mall displays, slipping in and out of delicate weaving whirling scales of the night skies. No screams are ever heard on the street, or in the shadows, or in the heartbeat of shoppers, or waiting safely with no guarantees. Quietness will become the host of bones, while Durga's eyes touched my screen, the greater meter, listening to screams of children and nuns in robes that never ends. So let us go. Yes, now, let us go. Let us go disappearing. Let us go disappearing, you and I, following and unfolding and folding the universe by days and nights, following wrinkles in a feather of a blue sky for a chance to remake the hinge on the tide of a broken wing. Let us go disappearing, you and I, following a stray wind that empties our lips, and when we meet again in shivers for a chance to remake the wild Amazon blues from the deepest inner circle of early morning's irises reemergence. Let us go disappearing, you and I, through the blue frosted edges of lavender-tinted honeysuckle and lilac, gather each other up again in the dark fire's hidden slip, fishing for northern lights and longer moments, to know the song of the rarefied disappearing. In our passport pillow talk, you and I uncover the deal we made to go disappearing on the endless bed of radio waves, where I'm not afraid to let you go for long moments while I dream of your subtle body's taste. Another application of pi, the way the breathing connects the inner radiance between our disappearings, you and I, in the glow of reflected afterlight draping over the table, the plants, the rocks, onto the walls, through the floor, our skin, a little chamber of precious lateness, the resolution of a day, particles participating in the longest dream. Let us go disappearing, you and I, a soft knowing of presence of our disappearing into the smaller and smaller numbers of new interpretations of zero. Let us go disappearing, you and I, together in the optical disturbances that are clues to the unbuttoning the cream in the sunrise, in winter pale interludes, the way a shadow moves over a silhouette. We won't intrude with a reason or tug of another edition to begin alone. Remember, the stillness is behind all of it, and is this us and our disappearings, you and I.